Hi, Holly. I decided tonight I'm going to do just a half dozen prompt session in a little bit, but I want to tackle some projects. I've got my spindle here. I've got it on a giant paper clip hanging, and I've painted it green, put some crackle effect, and now I'm waiting on the cream paint to do the crackle thing. It's starting. I think I'm going to need to set it aside and do something else for a little while. Hi, Janet. Hi, Mindy. And I've got my teapot going. Uh-oh, it wasn't dry on that side. Oh, well, we'll see what happens. But I'm going to paint that tonight and get it ready. I'm behind on so many different things that I figured this would be a good night to catch up. And I need mailing envelopes. So I'm going to do some mailing envelopes while I'm waiting on, sections of the spindle to dry. So for anybody that's new and has not watched me paint an envelope, I kind of just get some kind of paint on it for the base. And I try to work on more than one at a time. I had some extra of this cream paint from the spindle, so why not use it, right? These paints here are to use on my spindle because they're like brand new paints. And I've got paints I want to use up on these envelopes here. So we're just going to use up paint tonight. I might have to run and put my tea in. We might have to go get me a little water too to add to these. Hang on, I'll be right back. You're fine, honey. You're fine. It's supper. I just got this little vinegar cruet I got at the Goodwill. And that way I can put just a little bit of water in these and shake them up, use them up. I would like to use up all these paints that have just a little bit in them. Hi, Joan. Give it a good shake and turn it upside down so everything will work to the where I need to get it out. Uh-oh. But yeah, I've got my Mystery ATC challenge envelopes I need to do. I need to do an envelope up for Mary to send that belt to her. She's going to be one of the ones that gets my challenge too, because I figured she could put it in her May journal. Just a minute, Tippy, and I'll let you out if you're at the door. Man. I don't know if I want to let you out. Somebody's driving crazy out here. You need to go outside? Okay. Be careful of crazy people, okay? You want to go? No, you're going to have to stay in with me then. I don't know how my spindle crackle's going to do, but I thought I would try it. Yellow never really shows up on these envelopes. Hi, Janet. Hi, Kendra. Hi, Rosa. Anybody else I missed? I'm probably watering these down too much, but I want to use every last little drop out of them. All right, that'll give me see what we got here. Earlier today, I made some cards using my drop paper. So when you set your spot up, make sure you have some brown paper or butcher block paper or some kind of paper that, you know, all your like this can go on. And then when you need some cards, you can just lift up your painty paper drop cloth and have an instant card. And I'm just going to get a background on these real quick. Basically, I just grab whatever paint I'm trying to use up and spread it around. I ought to introduce you guys to Bernadette. She's sitting here. I've got quite a wreck behind me, though. I'm going to have to put her out in her playpen in a little bit. Last night I left her out too late, though, and it was dark, and I didn't get the latch fix on her playpen. So this morning I got up, and a raccoon had been playing in her dishes, so I had to wash all of her dishes again. I kept telling Scott, I said, I know they can probably climb over this fence, but they didn't the night before. My neighbor's doggie is barking. Bernadette, Holly said hi to you. She's sound asleep. This paint's got boogies in it. Yuckies. Uh-oh. So I cleaned my desk off enough that I could do this real quick. And here, let me move these real quick. And we'll see if we can get you guys. See her down there? Bernadette. Say hi to everybody. Hey, Bernie. Say hi. She's only barked once since we got her up here. She looks bored in there. But it keeps her out of trouble. She's just about totally blind, and if you just leave her running, she runs into things and hurts herself. So she's either on the leash or in the crate. Hopefully I can get that back set where I had you. Hang on, we'll get you back over here. Why is Boots carrying on across the street? Let me peek out here. I need to trim the bushes. I can't see. Everybody says, "Isn't she pretty?" Well, I don't know what's going on. Yellow doesn't show up on these backgrounds, so. I took her for a ride today, and we went and got Panera for supper, and she came back and ate the rest of her dog food. And this was neon paint, and it is not going to cover very well. So we won't worry about using a whole lot of it. We'll just put a little bit on each one. Hi, Giovanna. I need envelopes to mail things out. And I actually need a lot more than these, but this will get me started. And I won't bore you all to tears doing envelope after envelope. And everybody that's a regular knows I do these envelopes, so, and have watched me do them before, so I didn't want to do an entire evening of envelope making. But I figured if I did something like this for the first 30 to 40 minutes, that would give everybody a chance that can't get in here until a little bit later because of dinner. Give them a chance to finish up before we do our prompt session. Turned it to purple on here. And even when you think you've got it all, if you hold on to it and turn it upside down, you can come back and make circles with it and just leave them to dry just like that. And then see, I'll switch and go back to the first one again and add another color on it. Ooh, you're cooking a pot roast. This is the one I just had. Let's put some of the screen on. Whoa. Okay, Becky, you've got enough there for all of these envelopes. I'm standing them on their side so they can dry better. Remember, spread it around on your drop paper too so that, you know, you're covering your drop paper up as you go along too. Let's see what else we got here. Hi, Mina. And I made artist trading cards that, as I was cleaning up, all the little bits that were still on my table, I was trying to turn them into, a card or artist trading card or something that I could stick in an envelope as an add-on in Happy Mails and clear my table off at the same time. All right, now we're getting some coverage. Now see, these won't, even though I'm using some of the same paint colors, each of these envelopes will look slightly different in the long run because they'll have different amounts of different colors. It's not too much purple left in here. Just about ready to let that bottle go, I think. And you don't have to cover the entire thing because I'm going to come back in and do some stenciling. So you can come back in and stencil with a color you used in a different layer and bring it back to the top, or you can choose a different color. So you could just do that and leave them on there. Just let it dry like that. And I don't worry if it's dry on both sides because I'll get some rundown too that way. So I'm going to let that one go. I've got some pink metallic here. Hi, Joyce. This I might leave like this. See if we can get some out. I had started saving these, but decided I'm not going to do anything with them. So there's no point in saving them. See, I thought that one would squeeze out, but it's not. This big envelope is going to go to Mary. So, however it turns out. My phone may ring. My son's having a kind of a bad day today. He might forget that it's Wednesday and call me. Just letting you guys know. So everybody's been saying hello. Hi, Kathy. I think this one's got enough base color, so I'm going to go get some sponges and a couple of big stencils And I'm just going to start, I'm just going to randomly grab some out of my file here. I'm not even opening it. I'm just reaching down into the pocket, and whichever one I pull out, that's the one I'm going to use. All right. Okay. I just got to remember the paints that are over that way are for something else. All right. So I'm going to take the one that makes the biggest marks first, which will be these chevrons. I'll fold the flap down. And I try not to put too thick a paint so that I can do my layers and they'll dry quickly when I'm working on this many envelopes at once. And see, I might not do the whole thing. I'll do just parts of this. Why are you fussing? You're fine. Am I talking and you can't see who I'm talking to? You couldn't see who I was talking to anyway. Remember? At least not very good. Okay. So there's the front on that one. Hi, Bernadette. My Bernadette's here with me tonight, too. My doggy Bernadette. Now you do have to, if you fold your flap down, you do have to be mindful to check that it reopens. See, and I'm going to turn it this way on this one. And I'm just going to wipe it on this time instead of dab it. And then maybe move this over and do this little bit here. We'll do this one at an angle. So don't be afraid to turn your stencils as you're working. And you can choose to just do sections. You don't have to cover the whole page every single time. And I might just leave that one to just kind of disappear there at the end. I gotta do this envelope. I'll look at chat here in just a minute. more of that red out. Because we got to put a little bit of this on the backs of them too. So we'll just leave that one like that. Go back to the first one again. Flip it over. Maybe angle this a little different. Well, I'm doing mailing envelopes, so I can mail. I'm issuing out a little challenge to 4 of you guys. 3 of you already know it's coming, and 1's going to be a mystery. Well, let's see. It was Holly and Janet were going to get one, and Mary. And then I had another one, and I was thinking I would send it as just a mystery surprise to somebody. And the challenge is when you get the envelope, you'll get a goodie bag that's got a background already done and some goodies to do in artist trading cards and a black envelope. And inside the black envelope is a surprise and an ATC that I made using some of the exact same background and some other things. And you can use anything in the package, or you can switch and use stuff from your stash, but you're not allowed to open the black envelope and look at mine until you've made one. And then I want you to take a picture of it alongside mine and post it in the group. And that way we can see how 2 different people come up with different ideas using the same supplies and stuff. Well, most of the same supplies. Ooh, I have Pan Pastels on my Amazon wish list. Scott hasn't gotten them for me yet. But they're on there in case he decides he wants to surprise me with something. He does every once in a while. Uh-oh, I still don't have enough of this. All right, that's the front and the back, the front and the back, front and the back, front and the back. Let's just put a little bit of something on the back here. Let's see here. Yes, they are expensive. I just need a little bit of paint. I'm not going to put this up filthy, but I'm not going to clean it right away. Somebody's practicing at the raceway. I can hear them. All right. We're just going to set that down, plunk that sponge into the water. All right. And before we switch to another color, let's do a quick peek on the spindle and see if it's doing any crackling at all. I got the crackle on a little thick there in the top. So it has crackled some. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it or not. It's done really nice on the actual spindle. You see the crackle? Kinda. And then I'm going to paint flowers on it. And then clear coat it and wax it. So that's my plan anyway. All right, a different stencil now. I think I'll do these dots. And see, now I can use the yellow. And I don't even care if it mixes with some of that red. these cheapy makeup sponges that I picked up, they have a lot of air inside the sponge. There's a lot of air, so it makes little bubbles in the paint when it's real watery like that. From what I understood is Lisa is going to do a group. I think it's Beth, Mary, Lisa, and one other person are going to be tomorrow night. And then 4 other people are going to be June 6th. So I think basically what that means is she's going to do the lesson twice live with different people, I think. But I figured, if I got my spindle done, I could work along with her and then maybe have a little bit more practice in before I participate in the actual live on there. I think I was just trying to get all my prep work done. That's why I told her, I said, I'm kind of glad you're not going to try to do like a Zoom or a larger hangout. At least that's what I understood. And I know she said she didn't know, her and Beth didn't know if they'd be back in time tonight to watch, I think is what I understood on here. So I got another one of those memories on Facebook, and when I get one and it mentions Laura from Laura Loves Lace, I wonder whatever became of her. I wonder if she's okay. I wonder if something drastic happened. It's just I've not ever heard from her in almost 2 years now. It's just like she disappeared. I know her and her husband were both quite sick at that time. Hi, Mary Hill. I got a lot of my oldies but goodies popping back around. I'm tickled to see you guys. But yeah, I need some envelopes, so I figured I'd do these real quick. And then we're going to do just a short half a dozen prompt sessions. So I'm only going to draw 6 prompts because I need postcards too. My newfound family is intrigued by my arty abilities and hinted that they would like a postcard or 2 sent out. So I said, well, next time I do one, I'll mail one to North Carolina because they're that close. It's been interesting. I'm doing the backs. And what's really ironic about it all is when I was growing up in New York, they were just down the road from my aunt and uncle's house, my father's side of the family that I didn't know about. So it's been interesting. The things adults tell children is kind of bizarre sometimes. But sometimes they do it, they think it's for their own good. But I always felt kind of misplaced and I don't know. It's hard to explain. I'm sure they thought they were doing what was right for me. I'm going to use 4 different stencils, and then I'm just going to maybe put a hello on it with a marker and a wave. But we'll have to set these aside because they'll have to be good and dry before I use the marker, of course. All right, and then I'm just going to spread the rest of this yellow around on my table for the next time I need cards. Hi, Cheryl's. Goodness, I got 27 people in here tonight. Welcome, everybody. If I missed you, I'm sorry. I've got my head down to the table, and I miss people coming in when the chat gets lively. So now we're going to use this one. And I think these were in a set, these green ones, Recollections. And now, see, I'm going to try to avoid where I just put yellow dots and where the some of the red lines are, so that I'm putting stuff in different places. Let's grab a different color. This is going to need a little bit of water added, shook it up. This is all the paints I have separated out that have just, you know, that last little bit that you don't want to throw away, and yet it's not really worth holding on to. Thanks, Mary. I enjoy making the envelopes to send out to folks, and the mail lady loves them. She said, you should make these and sell these. And I'm like, well, I'd have to charge. Nobody wants to pay what I put the time in other words. When I do an intricate envelope like the snowman ones I did one time, those took a while because I hand painted the snowmen on them. Ooh, that got a little heavy. That's all right. We'll fix it. Less is more when stenciling. I always go too heavy-handed. See, less paint, you get a better result. We'll fix that. See, I've got enough in this sponge right now that I would get a better effect. It really is. Work it out on your drop paper before you go to your envelope, so you have just a little teeny bit on your sponge. It'll make a big difference. And I told the lady at the post office, I said, it's all just rubbing paint on and using different stencils. It's not rocket science. I said, even you could do it. She said, oh, no, I couldn't. I said, I bet you could. Sun and Moon is Rosa, you guys, just an FYI. I've known Rosa quite a while. I've got a beautiful picture Rosa did one time. It's all packed away safely right now because I'm between houses, but hopefully this year will be the year. And this is the part where you can go and fill in, maybe where in the first where you're adding paint on, you can go now in where it's still manila colored and just stencil a little bit to bring a little color to those areas. And it doesn't have to be a lot. And see, I'm not paying attention if the stencil's going in the same direction even. I just plop it down and do a little bit more. There we go. Remember, I have one more stencil I'm going to add, and I've got to do the backs of all of these. Hi, Barb. Bernadette, I think you and Rosa would have a blast together. My son said he'd move out west near you guys if he had an opportunity. And Scott said he didn't care for the desert, so he didn't like it at all. If the air gets too dry, because he was born and raised in the South, I think when the air gets too dry, he has a lot of trouble. So he's used to the humidity. That took me a while to get used to because it was a different kind of humid in New York. I think my son needs a change. I think he needs to move somewhere else. I need more of that purple paint. Not too much more, but some. Yeah. My hands are getting all purty. Yeah, my son liked it out in the desert. He was in Shepherd's Air Force Base for his ACE school out in the middle of nowhere, Texas. And he loved it. All right. I did some on the front of that. Do some. See, like right here where I didn't get paint, I'm going to add paint now. And it'll fill that in. I might have to adjust my angle a little bit. When I moved the camera to show you guys Bernadette, I got myself all crooked. But she enjoyed her ride. She wanted to climb into the drive-through window at Panera Bread, though. She could hear that young girl's voice, and she wanted to get to her and lick her and kiss her, and she's right happy. I might need to put her out in her yard for a little bit right before it gets dark so she can go potty. I usually walk her down by the garage, but I don't want to walk off and leave you guys hanging while I'm going potty with the dog. All right, so here's that one. I'll dip that sponge in there. You were born and raised in New York? I was born and raised in upstate New York near Binghamton. And I moved to South Carolina in 1982, right out of high school, to try to get to know my mother, because my grandmother raised me. Long story. Yeah, that's a long story. Yeah. We'll just leave that there. But then I met the sailor, and I never went back. I went to high school with a boy. His name was Giovanni. and his sister Tracy married my cousin, and they didn't work out. But Giovanni picked on me unmercifully in high school. I miss Saw Crafters. I used to order stencils from her. I want to try some of the stencils from Stencil Girl, because I know Chelsea and Peg Robinson, they both work with Stencil Girl products and do videos for them. And there are some beautiful stencils. And I like the Joggles. Joggle stencils are nice too. And then there's one other company I've ordered from that I liked. The name escaped me right now. And I've ordered stencils from Scrapbook Pal. They have stencils. This one makes such little lines. That I hope they show. Are they showing up at all? Yeah, there we go. But Saw Crafters went out of business. And I don't know what she's doing now. I got the impression it was going to be real estate or something. But I could be wrong. And then I forgot she'd gone out of business, and I started looking for her again. And I think it was Azure told me, oh, she closed. And I had totally forgot. Sometimes my brain, like my sister says, she says her brain is like a colander. Everything falls out. This needs something right in here. These are going to be some busy envelopes. Giovanni, you said you were in Albuquerque, born and raised. Is that what you said? At least that's what I read here. Yeah, that's with me not working outside the home anymore. I try not to spend until I've gotten a little YouTube check from AdSense. Kind of cool. I might have to switch to another color because this one's empty. Killed another one. Let's see. How about this blue? Look at me blue, it says. Ew. That one doesn't seem as empty as the other ones, but that's okay. And I'm just going to use my green sponge. Could lead to some interesting things. Scott, when he worked for Bose, he had to go down to Mexico to do some kind of training or something, and he had to drive from California down to Mexico. And he said the rest stops, at one of the rest stops, he pulled in, and it was just like a porta-john with a donkey tied next to it. And he said, I don't know what the donkey had to do with any of it, but I said, I don't even want to know. But he took some pictures and of the cactus. He thought those were cool. I'm going to add some of this blue to the fronts of these. Yeah, she's not far from our house down in Casey. She's just on the other side of Colatown, as they say. And my mother-in-law that's lived down there, you know, since the 60s, they were from originally up here in Greenville, and then they moved down there when my father-in-law got a job with the telephone company down there. And I said, we're going to be in Colatown soon. And she was like, what is that? She'd never heard it called that, I guess. But Coca-Cola used to be bottled in Columbia, South Carolina, but it's not anymore. And when Scott was a little boy, back when he would ride his bike all over Columbia. In fact, he watched Columbia Mall being built. He rode his bike from Casey all the way over there. And he said if Mother knew how far I'd ridden that bike, she'd have a coronary. I was like, yeah, she probably would have. Because that's quite a ride on a bike to go from Casey to where Columbia Mall is, which I haven't been to Columbia Mall in years. The last time we went, there wasn't too much left in it. Everybody wants to go to Sandhills or Columbiana. Do the back of this one now. Columbiana Mall is pretty, but I've gotten to where I'd rather shop thrift stores, to be honest, you guys. I've gotten to where I don't want to pay full price for anything or have to wait for a sale. I'll just wait till somebody else buys it and takes it to the thrift store and it's been used like twice and then donated. I would rather do that. Squiggly lines. All right, I'm going to start setting these down on the floor to dry. My parents had gone with my youngest sibling, Rhonda, to West Virginia to see my stepdad's sister and his mother this week. They were supposed to be back, I think, today or tomorrow. But my youngest sister rented a van so that they could tote all of Dad's oxygen and she could do the driving. You know, I've been using this and I just realized something. There's a ring of plastic still in here. Let's take that out and pitch it. So now I'll get a full-on squiggly there. That's funny. All right. Just setting these out of the way now so we can move on to something else. I think I'm going to do the prompt session next. So who all's playing? I need to get a piece of mixed media paper or a cat food. No, it needs to be larger because I'm making postcards this week. My step-grandfather worked for RCA Cola. So I think that was Parkersburg, West Virginia. Is that what it's called? He was at Pearl Harbor and he worked for the RCA Cola Company, and that's the only thing I remember. I think I met them 2 or 3 times. Because see that my siblings were with my mom and my stepfather, and I was still with Grandma when they first got married. But my step grandmother is in a nursing home up there, and she has good days and bad days, and some days she remembers Dad and some days she doesn't. So, and they go once a year to see him since, you know, she can't travel anymore. There's that. And that's my youngest sibling's grandmother. All right, I see Mina says she's going to be watching and fussy cutting tonight. I'm going to throw all these ones that are partially empty back in my partial empty bin over here. I need to do a jelly print session and make a bunch of paper up. Might keep that blue out, that show me blue. All right, keep those sponges. We're going to spread this out so it can dry. And I'll grab a piece of paper and get my kitty cat card deck out. Okay, Lisa. I'm working on my spindle too. I've got it hanging over here trying to I put crackle on mine. So we'll see if I might just leave these and use these. See if it'll work. So let me grab a piece of mixed media paper and we'll be good to go. Puppy's sound asleep. She gets on her back in the night and snores. Scott said that dog is snoring. I was like, she can't help it. She's old. She's like me. She falls asleep with her mouth open. She starts snoring. I haven't done the fabric pages for Ruth and Barb yet. It's on my list of things to get done. I just couldn't get to my table today. Why does that light keep changing? And why is that paint there pink? Wet. Oh, well. All right. So I didn't see who all is playing. I know Lisa says she's going to watch and relax. It's been a busy day, she says. It's a Fiskars. It's a Fiskars. The only thing I don't like about it is those little blades get dull pretty quick. All right, Sharon's going to play. I could make a list of everybody that's playing off to the side here. But I'm pretty bad about just going on and pulling the next one as soon as one person tells me they're ready. Beth is playing. Sharon Lombard, Beth. And Kendra's going to write the prompts down and do it later. That's fine. All right, so just a couple of us. So we can do this. We're going to do 6 prompts, but I'm going to pull off 2 alternates. So these are your alternates first, okay, you guys? The first alternate is going to be add fiber or lace. That's an alternate. That's if I pull something and you don't want to do it. So add fiber or lace. And then the second one is gesso out an area. So those are your 2 alternates. All right. Oh, is Cheryl still not feeling good? I'm sorry, Cheryl. Okay, Journey, that's fine. All right, so I'm drawing the first prompt. add masking tape and remove it after the last prompt. So think about where this is going to get pulled off later, okay? And I'm going to get some masking tape. And let me tell you something before you start sticking it down. When you get your masking tape out, put it on your forearm here before you put it on your paper, and then it'll lift off your paper easier. You'll be removing a little bit of the tackiness. So let me get some masking tape. I know, well, I've got blue. I thought I had some regular masking tape too. I might have let Scott borrow it. Nope, there it is. You can put big pieces, little pieces, whatever. Just keep in mind, you're going to be pulling it off later. So I'm going to just rip a piece off and then just lay it on my arm and remove some of the sticky so that it comes off my paper better later. And I might just stick it right down to my, and then it can't move. You can use as little or as much masking tape as you want. I am going to cut mine up into 4 postcards. So I'll have one for my Aunt Carol, and I might send some to maybe one. I might send these out to family members. Send one to my sister Robin. She's the art teacher. I've got all kinds of fuzz on me where I was cleaning this table off earlier. And the bonus of doing this like this is you'll have the tape you can use on another project. Kathy, she says, I'm going to add masking tape and not remove it later. But it looks so cool. But it's up to you. It's your project. All right, I'm ready. Anybody else ready? I think I've got enough masking tape on here. You know what? I didn't fix my tea the rest of the way. All right, Beth is ready. I'm going to pull the next one. All right, add book page. Add book page. So I need something to stick it down with. I'm going to have to try to avoid the tape so I can peel it up later, because I don't think the book page would peel up too good. Let's see here. I'm just going to grab a random book out of my tear books. This is matte medium. I'll just use that. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It'll be harder to pull your masking tape back up. I'm going to leave that all up to y'all. What you dreaming about, baby? She's over here making moaning noises. You're all right. I don't care if it goes off the edge because I can trim it later. Hopefully I can get it up off the table. I was watching that story about Ted Bundy on Netflix last night. And there was a young lady in the UK. I watched her vlogs or whatever they are. And she said she'd never heard of Ted Bundy. And I was like, wow. Do you live under a rock? And then I got to thinking about it. And I was like, well, she's young. That's why she's never heard of it. Because that was before my time of being a young woman, a young adult. So, and she's in the UK, so why would she know about him, You have to stop yourself sometimes and think, well, that's why she didn't know about him. If anybody knows where I can get a couple horseshoes, old horseshoes, let me know. I need a couple old horseshoes with holes in them, Hopefully we'll get some interesting ones. Oh my God, Joyce, that's scary. Glad you escaped him. Put it that way. I just want to stick this on here because it says table of numbers. That'll probably be right where I cut it to make it into a postcard. You ignored him. You were in Florida? Good. How's everybody doing? Kind of wishing I gessoed my my paper beforehand, but that's all right. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I think I'm going to stop. Sharon is ready. No, we're not talking about Married with Children. We're talking about Ted Bundy, the murderer. They figure he murdered he murdered 30 women, but they said it was a lot more is what they were saying on that show last night. Okay, here we go. Add lines. You can add these lines any way you want. I think I'll just use my handy dandy thing and pick a color, any color. I've got these colors here. Which color should I use? I've got blue. I've got kind of this pink, a purple, a red, a yellow, orange, green, or green. Dark green or light green. The blue. All right. I'm going to add lines. And they can be, it says add lines. It doesn't say they have to be straight lines either, you guys. So add your lines. I hope we get more color options, or we might have to do more than 6 prompts to get this covered with something. That didn't do too good because I'm not in the same plane. Oh, cool. Get some dendritic effect doing that. They're still lines. They're just dendritic printed. Our Joyce was a smart gal, even back then. She knew better than to mess with old crazy Ted Bundy. All right, I added lines. We're already on our 3rd prompt. Lisa just put a video up on Happy Mail from Becky and Janet. Tanya put up another video on her 100-day project. All right, Sharon's ready. Has everybody got their lines on? I'm going to draw the next one. Use green or aqua. Green or aqua. And I'll use green. I'm going to use a couple greens. It doesn't say you have to use just one. I'm going to use bluegrass green and citron green. And I'm going to fill my squares in I created. I don't have an aqua over here, so I'm going to use just the 2 shades of green and kind of pick them up at the same time. And color in between the lines. And here I was afraid I wouldn't get it. Covered in a color. I am so hoping I can sleep in a little later tomorrow. We've had some early mornings this week after very late nights. You know, he doesn't get home till 11:30. By the time he gets wound down and, ready for bed, it's 1 a.m. I miss being up in the early mornings. See, I'm like Mary. I could be up early before the sun. But when we go to bed at 1 a.m., there's no way I want to get up at 3 or 4. Uh-oh, I think I need more paint. I need more paint. Yep. 2 was add a book page and 3 was add lines. Janet's not a beast. Oh, okay, Barb. How's your dad doing? Is he doing okay? I was saying earlier, my folks have been off gallivanting with my youngest sister. All right. Awesome. Wonder if Mary went and got some more plants planted in her corner plot. Is Mary in here? She might be tired because she got up early again today. I thought about starting a whole new project, but then I said, you know what? I could kick myself because I don't need to start anything else new until I'm got my table clear and I've fulfilled mailings and all of that. So, yeah, I am not doing anything else. I always loved when the chicks came in. I loved to dip their beaks when they first got there, dip their beak, get them some water. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's been a beautiful day here. It would be perfect for gardening. Yeah, we used to get chicks and then would raise them for the freezer, and then periodically we would cull our flock of like 6 of the older hens, and we'd get 6 newer ones. But one time we had 2 roosters, and then one of them got real mean, and he ended up in the chicken and dumplings one night. And then the other one got really mean, and I came home and she said Jimmy was in the pot because that was the name of the rooster. Because he had spurred her. He had spurred her bad in the back of her calf. You have to watch on roosters. They can get mean. Oh my goodness. See, I haven't watched all of her this morning. Oh, Barb's got bad fires around you. Oh, goodness. All right. I had a ready from Beth. So, okay. It says add a tree. I'm going to hold this and put a tree on my postcards. I'll hand paint a tree on. So if anybody else wants to do that, they can. If you want to hold it, or you can use one of these other ones, the alternates. So I'm going to hold my tree until after the next prompt. I'll pull the tape off and then I'll paint a tree on these postcards. I'll have to hand paint it. Thanks, Janet. All right, Sharon's going to wait. I'm going to go ahead and pull the last prompt, and then after we do the next prompt and pull the tape off, we can decide if we want to add a little bit something else. Oh, okay. Beth wants us to give her just a minute. She's stamping her tree. Okay. I'm going to run get my tea while we're waiting for Beth to do that. It's probably not hot anymore, but it'll still be good. If nothing else, if we could decide, we could add a stencil after we remove the paint, because I've got all these stencils sitting here dirty anyway. Howard's sitting on top of the trash can looking very irritated. But it's not hot at all. Nope. That's okay. Still drinkable. I do have a die of a tree that I could cut out and stick on. I might just paint a tree of life on each one. Yeah, Rhode Island Reds, we got those. Oh, yay, Bernie, Auntie Bernie and Rosa are going to get together and play. That's awesome. I really enjoyed getting to meet Heather from the Craft Shack and Debbie, who actually lives in Spartanburg near my mom over there. And I can't remember Debbie's, I think it's Creative Bee Studios. I could be wrong. But Debbie, if you're watching, and you could pop in and give us your channel or your website or whatever. But she does the Artomatic, where they've taken old cigarette, where they used to sell cigarette packs, and they put art in it instead. You ought to look it up. It's Artomatic. It's really an interesting project. I think Shannon Green also puts stuff in the Artomatics. All right, Beth is ready. All right, this is the last prompt. And it says add washi tape. All right, so I think what I'm going to do, it says gesso out in area is an alternate. I am going to, I'm thinking I might just stencil some squiggly lines with gesso. I got these, and that would make my tape look cool too. But instead of gesso, I'm taking creative license, and I'm just going to use vanilla ice cream apple barrel paint. And then I'll remove my tape and see if I want to do anything else. Because that's not going to give us very much background. So do you guys want to stop at 6 prompts, or do you want me to pull some more prompts? I'll leave it up to you guys. We can pull more prompts and then peel our tape off and see how we feel about it. We just got to remember we've got to add a tree if you haven't already. Beth is probably doing a page in her book, but I needed postcards, so. I began with mixed media paper. I like the weight of it. It makes a good weight, so I can just take my postcards, throw a postcard stamp on the back, and drop them in the mail. I don't have any problem mailing these with this weight of paper. And the reason I'm going so crazy with this is, you remember, we're going to be removing that tape. So I want to make sure I'm leaving some design on my paper. Looks pretty cool. Let's see. Add a tree and add washi tape, or use one of the alternates. That came after the green. And hello, Carlana. I didn't see you. Sorry about that. All right, so did we decide if we wanted to do any more prompts? Are you guys satisfied with this background, or do we want to keep going and add a couple more prompts? Thanks, Janet, for Shannon's video about Artomatic. It sounds like a delightful project if you get selected. I know Debbie says she's got stuff in a machine all the way in Australia. So how exciting is that? More prompts. Kathy wants more prompts. Okay, I'm going to pull another prompt. Okay, Beth, I'm going to pull another prompt. Add hearts. Now, Beth, if you want to, you can add these. Add hearts is number 7. I'm going to just add the hearts now. Let's see, what do I want to add them with? I want them to be painted hearts, I think. Small. Something small. I have a small stencil with hearts on it. Hearts. Okay, I don't want to overwhelm it, so I think I'm going to put masking tape over the larger hearts so I get a row of the smaller hearts. I'm just going to masking tape these out. Oops. All right. So I just put masking tape over the larger hearts so I can only stencil through these other ones, the smaller ones. And I'm going to do it with a sticky up, if that makes sense. And I'll get, once I get some paint on it, it won't be, oh, this has never been opened. Heart flowers at the base of the trees. All right. So I just have to visualize about where the center of this is going to be, because I'm going to cut this into 4 postcards. And I think it's taped down to the table. So at 4.5, I'm gonna give myself some indicator lines here. And that way I will have them toward the bottom of my postcards. Okay. And then I can use paint or a marker. That's a good idea. Thanks, Mina. Put the ruler back so I don't coat it in paint. It's already got enough black marker on it. Just have to put everything away as you go, and then you don't have a mess later. Oh, she's sleeping. All right, so There's enough paint on this stencil to do a whole row of hearts. Oh, that one didn't do too good. That's all right. I'll just turn it into flowers. Got too much paint on here, I think. There's paint got on the back. That's what the problem is. Durr, Becky, durr. Let's see here. That's a little better. Uh-oh. That flower about got away. I mean, heart. Uh-oh. All right. Good enough. And then I can just peel the tape off. I can use it to clean up the tape paint. There we go. I'll just add those to my pile of stencils to wash. All right. Do you want any more prompts, or are we good now? I can pull another one if anybody wants it. Beth says she's ready. Do we want to go for a full dozen? Do we want to do a full dozen tonight? I've got them kind of out of order on here, so I might have to go back through and see. I'm going to draw until 12, and I'm going to 8. What, we got 4 left? Draw uneven lines, thick and thin, short and long. I'm going to have to dry this to do that, because I don't want to mess my, I don't know if I want to do that one. I'll think about it while I dry this. Because I got to still add my tree. I know what I'll do. I'm going to do that prompt, but I'm going to make it the trunk of my tree. So what I need to do is I'm going to make a line across this with pencil that will hide when I pencil. See, you clean your desk and then you can't find anything. Because I always go around the edges of my postcards anyway. I don't think that looks straight. So this pencil will be covered under my black border anyway. All right, so now if I take a couple different sized markers, I can do long and short. See, I want my tree to be kind of off to the side, I think. So I'll do that one there. Maybe come here. And then in between them, do some shorter ones. Okay. Then we'll do some thin lines in between. So there's a trunk of a tree. We'll do another tree over on this one. Might make this one a little narrower. I'll do one here. The only reason I'm using the ruler is because I want the lines to be straight. I'll look at chat here in just a minute. It needs more fat lines in it. Oh, okay. Somebody's going to be hungry. Better feed them. That includes you. I'm going to have parts of this tree missing, but that'll be okay. I'll have some interesting homemade tape too. All right. I've done that prompt. I'm ready. Enjoy your dinner, Kathy. All right, Beth is ready. I'm running out of room to set cards. Hang on just a sec. I'll move some of this stuff over. I cleared myself a little work area. All right. All right. This one, it says add borders or lines to two adjacent sides. So you could be either this side and this side, or this side and or this side. So whichever way you want to add borders, you can. I'm going to go ahead and do that. But what I'll have to do is, let's see, I'll get my fat marker. Where is it? And I'm just going to do that, but I have to figure out where half of this is too. This is my marker I use for borders. And so 6 inches is there. So I'll add one here. Remember, I'm going to cut this into 4 postcards, so I have to do this prompt so that it'll cover all 4 postcards. I think I need a new one of these chiselly markers because this one's getting to where it skips and doesn't want to do too good. All right, so now if I do the adjacent sides, we'll line that up there and there. I really brutalized the tip on this marker. So it doesn't surprise me at all that it's trying to fail. All right, we're going to call that good enough. See if I mark make sure I don't have any paint on it. All right, Janet's going to be right back. Oh, Violet, you had to work late? Well, I've gotten them all out of order. But if you scroll back up in the chat, maybe you can find them all. Janet will be back in a minute here. The first prompt was add masking tape, and we're going to remove it after the last prompt. And we were going to do 6 prompts, but now we're going to do 12. And I'm saving a tree for last. I've kind of got a trunk here. I might change my mind and add another tree. But this was one of the prompts too. So we did add masking tape to remove after the last prompt, then add a book page, then add lines. And then I think we jumped up here, add washi tape, no, it was over here. Like I said, they're all out of order. Use green or aqua, because this is where we were going to do, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8, 9, and then 10. Oh, Janet says, I got it. I don't know what these postcards are going to look like. They might be cray-cray, but hey, they're going to be postcards. All right, Beth is ready. Sharon, how are you doing? Were you ready and I missed it? Janet's putting the prompts up, Violet. All right, so this will be prompt, what did I say, 10? I'll leave this up to you guys. It says, journal a favorite memory on a separate paper and attach it to the page. I'm not going to be able to do that because these are postcards, but if you're doing a journal page, you feel free to do that. And if you want me to pick another alternate, I can do that too. Five was add a tree, I think. Yeah, there's Janet's got it. Skip it. Okay, Sharon and I are going to skip that one. Beth's going to add a quote. And I'm going to pull another one for us. Use markers is an alternate. Who's it? Hi, Callie. Come on. Howard. Everybody's coming in for supper? Okay. Yes, the puppy's in there, but she's in her crate. She's not going to hurt you guys. She wouldn't hurt you anyway. So let's see. add markers. I think I will do that. And I'll put some stems on these hearts. And if that doesn't look right, it'll be all right anyway. Doesn't say you have to go to town with them. You can do just a few little lines if that's all you want to do. Some of these I might cover with paint. I'm probably going to end up sticking my thumb in some marker leaves here. They almost look like cactus instead of leaves. I guess I could make them a little bit more pointy. The good thing about markers, it's kind of forgiving. Go back and change the shape of something really easy. And I think I'm managing to stick my hand in it. Let's see. Hello. Who's rubbing on me? Hi, Callylicious. Are you going to jump up here and be right in the middle of everything? Yep. Hello. I know there's a dog over there, isn't there? Oh. Howie's being naughty. You going to go with him? Just a minute, guys. Seems like you could stay a little bit longer. I am so owned. Hey, 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 hey. Why are you guys fighting? Hey, Callie. She should be glad. You're the one that got me to come over here. Behave yourself. All right. Howard goes out the front door like he's late for a meeting, you guys. Scott always says he's a business cat. He's late for meetings all the time. All right. I'll quit messing with these leaves here in a minute. Y'all are probably already telling me, ready. I don't know. We'll see. Doodling fixes everything, and you can always doodle after you're done. This is going to need some heavy-duty doodling, I think, to pull it all together. All right. Is everybody done with their markers, or are you still adding more? Cat is fashionably late. Callie is a gorgeous cat, but I'm telling you guys, she is the most temperamental. She can be ill-tempered Everything is on her terms. It's her way or the highway. All right, I've got some readies. Okay, I love this one. Add butterflies or bees. I'm going to do that when I add the tree. So that is prompt 11, and I'm holding it until I do the final tree and stuff. So I'm going to do add a tree and then put my butterflies and bees on, because I'm just going to paint them by hand. And then I'm going to draw the last prompt, prompt 12, so that I can go ahead and do it and then pull the tape off and do the bees and butterflies. Or you can do and or, you don't have to do both. Add dots. I love to add dots. I can add dots. I might add dots. Do I want black dots or white dots? Or some other color dots? What color dots should I do? What color dots? Dots, dots. White ones? Okay. Now, the Posca pen I used on those fish the other night did a blob on them. I'm hoping I don't get the same one. I think I'm going to put dots on my border. I think this one's out. Yeah, I think this one's out. I don't know why I keep holding on. I tried to refill them and it didn't work out. This one sounds like it's got gold. I don't think I have a gold pen. That's the only thing. The gold I have is this one. I don't know if it'll... I'm getting a ton of gold. Gold wins if I can get this stupid thing to work. Let's see. Doesn't show up very much. I think the tip has gotten messed up. There we go. They look like fireflies. Of course, I guess I could have added dots with just regular paint. I still got to add my tree. I'm anxious to see what I get when I pull the tape away. I hope there's enough print on the tape that it'll be pretty to use too. I might stick it down on a piece of plastic. So I can add up more stuff to the tape if I want to. All right. That's going to have to dry a minute before I pull the tape up, or all that gold will get wiped off. All right. I might have to hit this with the heat gun real quick. I can tell when I get on the tape because it acts different on the tape than it does on everything else. Whoop! Well, that's got a dot. I guess I need to just turn this the other way up for a little bit before I try to use it because it's working better now that I've had it open and upright some. I think you're supposed to store all these pens on their sides, aren't you? Mine are in a dish. Yeah. She stays on patrol, the calico, day and night. If she's inside, she patrols inside. If she's outside, she patrols outside. Let's see if I can dry this quicker. It's going to be pretty interesting when I take that tape off. All right, let me go grab this plastic cutting board real quick. I'll take you out just a little bit, honey. I'm being a good girl. All right, see, I've got these from Dollar Tree, not Dollar General. Dollar Tree has these. Yeah, we had these dogs and they were still living down there. And then when Amelia had to be put to sleep last weekend, we decided Bernadette would just come back and forth with us. So see, now I've got a little teeny piece of washi tape. It's handmade washi tape. And when you put it on your arm and remove some of the sticky, then you see how smooth it peels off. There's my piece of tape. Like I do this one here. Yeah, see, Callie is not real fond about being just lifted up either. The boys, they love attention. Howie and Tippy. They're attention hounds. There's that piece of tape. Isn't it pretty? It's pretty pretty. You're all right, sweetie. No, I didn't open a treat box. I didn't open the treats. Let's see if I can get this piece of tape up. Had an itch on my cheek. All right. There's that one. I have one more piece of tape, I think. I think it was just one more piece of tape. And the rest of what's sticking off is just paper I need to trim. Oh, that seems to be. And there. And see, I can just stick that down on an artist trading card and add to the design on an artist trading card. So that's all my tapes. And that's another way you can do tape. If you wanted to, just put a bunch of tape down on something like this and do a pick 10, 8, 6, 12, whatever. And then it's all stuck down, and then you just peel off a piece. And these are you get 2 of these cutting boards for $1 at Dollar Tree. Now, I've found that not every Dollar Tree has these. So good luck finding them, put it that way, because it took me forever. All right. So I still need to add my tree and a bee or a butterfly or one of each or something. So let me trim the paper off first. You okay? I'm going to trim this in half. I'm just picking these up. They weren't in order anyway. Yeah, the tape really gets decorated up pretty. So I'm going to cut this into my postcards. I'd be pretty good getting that so it's in the same spot. There we go. Postcards. Do, 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 do. So now we need to put a tree on it and a bee, a little bee. So if I get yellow paint, black paint, Boy, that water's really dirty. We're gonna go with it. All right. I'm just gonna plant. I'm gonna plant a tree on here. I'm gonna paint a tree on here. That's Craft Smart paint. I can tell by the way it's acting. You all right, baby girl? This tree ain't gonna be nothing fantastic. I can tell you that right now. Just be a little tree. That one paint I thought was brown. It's really red. I bet it's like a burnt. What is it? Burnt umber. Let's see what that one's called. It says chocolate brown, but it does not look like chocolate. The other one looks like chocolate. I'm just gonna do a quick tree and then let it dry. keep hearing a large vehicle. I'm sorry, I went into trance mode of painting limbs. I keep hearing a large vehicle just idling. Might be a train sitting on the tracks back there. Janet's getting the order sorted out for us. I got it all kind of mixed up and in a skew. I'm on the verge of just mixing those two paints together because one is like super, super thin and the other one's way too thick. And my water is so filthy. I'm just going to do these kind of rough right now. And as always, I'll probably go in and spend a lot of time just trying to come up with better shapes. This is kind of like our old chestnut tree that's down at the other house. Oh, Vicki was here. And oh, hi, Carly. Which Vicki was here? Who did I miss? Vicki Ross. Oh, I'm sorry, Vicki. I missed you. River City, hi. It's Deborah, right? Is that River City? Hi, Christy. Oh, I'm missing everything. Well, the shelters here, if you take animals to them, what they do is they just bring them right back out and release them again here. So, you know, they don't even bother euthanizing. They just turn them back out on the road. Strays are a real problem because people won't spay and neuter their animals. And then when their female gets pregnant, then they turn her. Scott said that the only thing wrong with a female cat or dog is they're female, and as soon as they get pregnant, they get kicked out. And it's not her fault she got pregnant. It's the owner's fault for not getting them spayed or neutered. And then my vet, that our good vet that I have down at the other house, he said it would be better to vasectomize the male cats because then they could knock a female out of her cycles. So there would be less litters if people would get their male animals vasectomized instead of neutered. That's what he said he would recommend. But see, I'd already gotten Tippy and Howie neutered before I had spoke to him again, because I got a different vet up here, of course, than we do down there, because I can't drag these cats all the way to Casey to go to the vet. I wish I could, because I like our vet down there. Oh, Bernie's complaining. Do you go potty? Or are you just bored? So that's my best stumpy tree for right now. And we need to give it some green on top, I reckon. I might just sponge it some top here. Christy's saying, hello, Fibs. I get a different green to go with that so it'll stick out better. Honey, I'll take you out in just a little bit. I thought I was making headway with getting my desk cleared off again, but I still had all this mess on the floor around me. Wish I had some round sponges. We could put little red apples on the trees if we wanted to. Mine are more crafty trees than artistic, realistic trees. These are they have afro tops on them. I need more of that dark green. Oop, not in the brown. Oh, I'm up. I see the blue arrow saying that you guys have been chit-chatting. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my. I am way behind, you guys. All right, there's the buys to Vicky. All right, Beth, I'll have to look for it here in just a minute. If you want to do another session of prompts, it looks like Stacy at Pink Poodle Crafts is going to be live in 30 minutes for Mixed Media Mashup number 104. And Cat Hand has put up a snack bag book page again. I keep wanting to do Cat Hand's thing. Oh, I missed it all. What did I miss? Oh, and Vicki Brown were here. Golly, I am horrible at keeping up with the chat. You guys are just so chatty. Yeah, it does cost less to do the mails, except if you have one, like we had an orange cat named Nikki, and he cost me more than having a female spayed because he had not dropped his second testicle. So they had to, she did a ton of incisions on that poor cat's belly. He had stitches all over his belly because she was trying to find the other one. Needless to say, I don't go to that vet anymore. I'd go to a different vet. Yeah, Violet, I was thinking I could put apples on it with a pencil eraser. And I still got to put a little bumblebee flying along on here. I hate I missed both the Vickies. I had my head down to the table and missed it all. Sorry about that. I got my camera back, but I still haven't done a standalone video since I got it back. I need to do some standalones because I've got some projects I need to do that I need to speed up the process simply because they're too detailed to be on for an entire day. So if I speed up the process a little bit. So we're going to put some red apples on here with a pencil. And see, I've already got one pencil here that's got a hard eraser that would be perfect for that. And I about set this one in that brown because I forgot to of course, you got to put one that's on the ground so you can put apple didn't fall far from the tree or something. See, that's why I think sometimes I should do like a hangout and have one person in here that helps me keep up with chat because I get so focused on what I'm doing. Oh, that apple's it's a big apple. We'll make it big. There we go. It's a Northern Spy. I haven't had a Northern Spy apple since I moved away from home. My uncle had a whole little orchard of them. Oh, I didn't put one on the ground. We can't say the apple didn't fall far from that tree. And what I'll do after these are thoroughly dry, I might go in and hand draw like just a couple little leaves and a stem above the apples, to make it look like it's got leaves next to it. Because apples, they do have some leaves right at the top of each apple. I think I've got a green fine line marker, but I want to make sure that this is totally dry before I do that. All right. I'm looking for a wet one, but I think I tossed it in the trash because it was soaked. All right, let me see what you guys are doing. Oh, gosh. Becky, are you going to have all the rules with the ATC surprises? Yes. Yes. I'll show you the packets. I won't show you what's inside the black envelope because I haven't mailed them yet. See, do not open until after you have completed an ATC. And then the instructions, it says, a challenge enclosed. Do not open the black envelope. If you should accept this challenge, you must use the background in the plastic bag and create an ATC for your collection. You can use any of the items I have included in the kit or use items from your stash. Once you have completed your ATC, you may open the black envelope and you will find an ATC from me for your collection as well. Then take a picture of the two ATCs side by side and post to Aunt Beck's Creations on Facebook. But I put YouTube, but you guys know it's Facebook. I just realized that. I might have to pull those out and cross it out and say Facebook. All right, I'm going to do a tiny little bee flying along somewhere on here, maybe down near the flowers. Maybe I'll put it in the white stripe so you can see him. Yeah, South Carolina produces more peaches than Georgia, and Georgia's a peach state. That's what I think is hilarious. So if you get one of those envelopes, I'm only sending 4 out. You'll have to decide if you want to accept the challenge. If you decide you don't want to, if you can pass it on to somebody else that might like to, but I thought it would be a good way to send a artist trading card out and get somebody else to take a different take on it. And I meant to start with the yellow. All right, we'll set that aside, let that yellow dry. The reason I'm putting the bee on the white is so that you can see him a little better. And I'll do his body with paint, and then I'll take that fine tipped marker that I have and give him some wings and some legs. Scott got up early, got dressed up to go talk with that man about a job, and I guess the guy forgot he wasn't even there. Oh, well. He's got a job. He's got a good job. I have to concentrate, guys. All right, that needs to dry before I go back in with the black, or I'll make a mess. I know it. And there are people around here that hate cats, and they'll catch your cat and use them for fighting those pit bull dogs, which I think is horrible. Drive faster. Drive faster. Let's see if I can pick up some black and go in and do this. Stuck my finger in up. Might make that one's a little long, B. Yep, you can't open the black envelope until after you have already made an ATC. And I haven't done a video on the ATC because I want everybody to do their own take using the same background. That poor bee. Yeah, you don't get to look at what I did to make an ATC. You have to use what's in there, and then once it's done, then you open the black envelope and take a picture of them side by side. Oh. It's like dry, dry, dry. All right, I added a bee. He needs legs and wings and stuff, but I want to bring my spindle down here. So we're going to set these aside real quick. I need to spread the brown around. I don't know. What time are we? Oh, it's only 9:30. We're not doing too bad. Let me pick up as I go here. And I will add my black border around my postcard too. And I've got all this other white space where the tape used to be, so I could put a quote on these as well if I decide to. I'm going to spread this out thin so it'll dry quick. There we go. I might work on the spindle tomorrow, but let's see how the crackle's doing. At least I didn't put my paintbrush in my So it's got a crackle finish. I don't know if it's gonna pick up because it's so light colored, but there is a crackle on it. So I was going to do some little design work and stuff on mine, but I think I'm going to wait until I've got a clean surface. But the crackle's doing really well. I can see it. But see, I've got it on its hook, and I got it on this giant paper clip, and then I'm hanging it from my camera light. All right, Violet, have a good night. Yeah, I'm at max capacity for animals. And we've decided we're much better cat parents than we are dog parents. So Bernadette will be our last dog. I think she's sweet and all, but I like the independence of a cat better. My mom is opposite. She would rather have a dog always. But right now she's got the grandchildren there that don't always mind, and Bernie needs calm and quiet. She just gets overexcited and then about does herself in trying to be happy for everybody. She's a sweet little girl. So I'm going to leave my paints out. I don't really have anything else planned. I can show you the cards I made. Let me put a piece of something down here so that I don't mess them up after I've done all the work on them, you know. Let me, some green grass. So, right now these cards were made from my drop paper. Oh, I set it right in red paint. Doggone it. That ticks me off. Anyhow, these were done with my drop paper, and I have not written in them yet. But each one's different because it's a different part of the drop paper. And then this one just set in red paint on the postcards. And these opened this way. And I added the "Friendship starts in loving hearts" quote to the bottom of those. And some have a yellow hello and some have a white because I came across them in the pile. And I think I might just leave that there and write "oops" next to it. So somebody will get an oops card in with theirs. Because I'm not selling it. I'm just giving it away. Hi, Susan. So these were just from the drop paper. Now, the ones with the blue background up here, they didn't have enough detail. Like this one had a little bit of a stenciled elephant on it. So I just got another Bohemian stencil out. And so the elephant's kind of toward the background. And I just made it so that they look like they were finished cards instead of just paper. And then on those, I added the butterflies. I'm trying to put these where they won't get in paint again. But the butterflies are just punched out there now. You can see the butterflies now. And then I added some of the little flat back pearly things that I got in Michael's, that bin that periodically they'll put at the front and it's like 25 cents a package or whatever. It's like all of the $1 to $2 bins at the end of the season. They pour it all in a big bin and you have to paw through it. That's where all these little gems came from. So I've got 3 like that, 4 like that, and then I made 4 ATCs using the little stamps. What did I do with it? I'm telling you, I clean and then I can't find anything. The mushroom stamp I made, I had practice stamped it out, 4 of them. So I just cut them apart. The background paper here is also a piece of my drop paper. And then I just layered up one of my hand-carved mushrooms stamped out on black, then the painty drop paper, then black, and then the artist trading card size white. And then I stamped the back and I called it "Carved Mushroom." And so I've got one of these left over that I can just surprise somebody. And I came across this painty envelope, so I can just pop this in the mail and send it to somebody. Yes, Mission Impossible. So thanks, guys. I had fun making cards today while Scott was taking his little nappy. Your mission, if you choose to accept it, this tape recording will self-destruct and just go, all that smoke come out of it. All right. Let's see if I can add. Let's see if I've messed the tip of this up already. All right. They've got some little legs that come out toward the back. Then they got their wings, antennae, little arms that come out there. Can't remember. Is there another set of what? How many legs does a bee have? I can't remember. All right. 1, 2, 6. 3 on each side plus the antenna. So he needs another set of legs on here. Doesn't look too bad. I mean, he looks kind of, he's a very special bee. Boy, that one wing is huge. This poor guy's wings look like he's dehydrated. Good night, Journey. Sleep well. These bees. These bees need help. There, now he's got a bee trail. I'll give them each a bee trail. It's just dots with a loop in it. That's all you have to do. They don't have to be evenly spaced. Wish I had some more of those hellos cut out already. I have quite the mess here. I'm going to finish this bee, and then I think I'm going to call it a night. I know it's early yet, but Stacy will be on here shortly, and if you guys want to stay up later. I'm just tired because I got up at 6 this morning. And I need to take the puppy out to go to the potty. What the hell? You all right? Callie? All is well. All is well. I don't know what was going on the porch, but scared me. Well, my bee's got what the stamp had, so maybe his antenna or another, I don't know. Oh, I think there was large raccoons were out on the porch fighting, I think, and yeah, they're gone now. I chased them into the woods. That's probably not a good idea, but they're chickens. Let's see here. I think that paint's still a little bit damp. I'll go back in and paint the leaves in with the marker them in. If I'd made them smaller, they could have been cherries. There we go. Well, that's one, and then if I sign it down here, today is what, the 15th? So that's what I'm going to do is give them some leaves like that. You can see my sick little bee there. Yeah, so I'm going to let this dry, and I'll do more on it. I'll probably doodle around the little hearts with some marker. So I'm going to let you guys go and see if I can get the puppy out to go to the restroom. And Pink Poodle Crafts is on doing her mixed media mashup. So if you wanted to participate in another prompt session, Stacy's on. And I will see you guys later. I'm going to try to do some standalone videos over the next couple days because I want to get all my mail out on Friday. So all mail that I'm to send out is going out Friday. All right. Good night, guys. Take care. Sleep well. Get better, Cheryl. Bye.